Director, Press Information Bureau, Mumbai, and you are welcome to the press conference at the 56th edition of International Film Festival of India. Along with me, Shri Bhupendra Kandola, Principal Director General, Press Information Bureau. Sorry, sir. Principal Director General, Publication Division, and also Professor Mazhar Kamran. Professor Mazhar Kamran is professor at IDC School of Design, IIT Bombay. He is better known as the DOP of the film Satya and also director of the film Mohandas. And one movie is yet to be released. Soon we are waiting to watch the film. Before we start the PC, we are having a book launch. The name of the book is Ma Uma Padma, the epic cinema of Ritik Ghatak. This book traces the river Padma that shaped the childhood of uh, great filmmaker Ritik Ghatak and his films, including Subarnarekha, and his teaching years at FTII. And this book is by Professor Mazhar Kamran. First, I welcome Sri Bhupendra Kandola and Professor Mazhar Kamran for the book launch. Sir, we'll go down. Thank you. Bhupendra sir, my first question too is that Ritik Ghatak is being discussed again, and why DPD publication divisions choose this time to come with this book?
The idea actually came to my mind in our special guest, Mr. Raju Hirani is here. Aye, sir, please come.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. ये किताब आपको देंगे. This is the book that has been released. Yeah. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, pedancy will hear him.
We have just joined by filmmaker Raj Kumar Irani, sir. Welcome to the press conference, sir. So we have just launched the book Ma Uma Padma, the epic cinema of Ritik Ghatak. So this book is authored by Professor Mazhar Kamran. Sir, you are also having memories of Ritik Ghatak as an ex-student of FTII. Yes, but still, sir. Yes. Yeah.
What should I be saying? All I can say is these two are my favorite people. Kantolaji ko institute ke time se he's been extremely warm towards us, and Mazhar was 1 year junior. 1 year junior to me in the film institute, and his passion for cinema is absolutely amazing. So just 2 days back he told me he got to know I'm here. He said I'm launching this book, so you should be here. So I'm trying to recall the films we remember. Megha Katara is one film I remember definitely. So as I said, I have not seen much. I have seen, but what I can recall is not as much as him. He's obviously, so I'm really looking forward to read this book, and I love the cover. So congratulations and all the best. Looking forward to reading this. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Kandola, sir.
So we actually thought of bringing out this book when in May, when the Prime Minister was visiting Mumbai. At the Waves, it was announced that there are 5 important film personalities whose centenary year is being celebrated this year: Gurudat, Salil Chaudhary, Ritvik Ghatak, P. Bhanumati, and one Salil Chaudhary. Yeah, 5 of them. So the idea came to me that we should get a nice book written on Ritvik Ghatak, and Publications Division has the mandate to bring out books at very affordable prices, which are accessible to everyone. So I approached Professor Kamran. He's been on the academic council of FTI when I was working there, and I requested if he could write, and he was very kind enough to find time, and he's written this lovely book. And so we are all here thanks to this book that has come out. It's been designed also by his department. His students have designed it. In fact, the design itself, it requires analysis, because this is a beautiful cover designed by the students of IIT Bombay under him. So now we'll request Professor Kamran to speak something.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Kantola. Thank you, Rajkumar Rani, and thank you, Saeed B. Hashmi Saab. So it's such a pleasure to be at the launch of this book. It's my first book where I'm credited. I've ghost-written one book. So this is such a joy to see that the words take this kind of a form, what you write personally. It's as much as, seeing the first copy of your film, which one is used to, but I've realized that a book is as significant and perhaps lasts more. Strangely, books remain for many years. So with that feeling, I want to speak a little bit about this. Best thing is to read it. It's not too big, not too hefty. I suppose it's readable. You can finish it in maybe 2-3 sittings. And what I have done here, every word I have written is out of my belief. There is nothing like information or, and so on. So I am backing whatever I have to say. And sometimes you may agree, sometimes you may not agree also. But I thought when you write, you must say your point of view very clearly. And to summarize it, it's about, Ritvik Ghatak. As I write in the preface, even I discovered him much later, and I begin by a note of regret that why didn't I pay attention in Film Institute to Ghatak? And I've explained that, somehow he has been on the margins, whereas he should not be. So that is the whole thesis on which, and I have to try to justify why he should not be on the margins, why he should be more central. In fact, I claim that if you, in time, whenever we think of Indian cinema, a film by him will always be there. This is my claim, and I have to justify it. Yeah. So I think with that, I'll answer questions when we open it to discussion.
Sure.
But I'll not take much more time than this. Thank you.
Yeah. Now the house is open for question. Yes.
मार्जिन पे रहे। नमस्कार, मैं सर्जना शर्मा हूँ, सनमार्ग न्यूज़पेपर से। आपने अभी कहा कि वो मार्जिन पे रहे, हमेशा सेंट्रल होना चाहिए था, लेकिन क्या आपको लगता है कि केवल पुरस्कार या बहुत मीडिया में आना, ऋत्विक घटक को जो लोग उनकी फिल्में पसंद करते हैं, उनको पसंद करते हैं, वो तो हमेशा उनके दिल में और उनके हाई पेडेस्टल पर हैं?
जी नहीं, बहुत सही कहा आपने। सी वन शुड नॉट बी डिपेंडेंट ऑन दीज काइंड ऑफ एक्सटर्नल वैलिडेशन जो आप कह रहे हैं, बट एट द सेम टाइम इट हेल्प्स. And I've tried to say what I meant was that what I mean by staying on the margins and, not being central is, if the person can become more central, the opportunities are many fold, And what I've seen in his life is that he has worked on the margins. He has struggled to make film. That should not be the case. That is what I mean. Even after doing such acclaimed films like the trilogy, he had to struggle. somehow or the other he would find, so that is what I mean by margins. It's not like, he's being welcomed with open hands to make his next film and his next film. The way, for example, not to contrast them that way, but say Satyajit Ray was. Satyajit Ray didn't have to struggle to make his next and his next. So that is what I mean.
Yes.
Do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think, talking about Kathak being on the margins, when the world premiere of the restoration of possibly his greatest film takes place at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning in this festival, is he still in the margins?
So that is a rediscovery. I'm saying during his life. Now, of course, he's not.
9 a.m. on a Sunday morning for one
Sorry?
of the greatest films ever made.
His film was screened here on Sunday morning at 9.
Okay.
He's saying that, does that mean that it's...
Yeah, that reflects our thinking of such cinema, that we don't want to engage, because any cinema which goes too deep and affects you too much, people are not ready to engage. It's more of a reflection of that than his position.
Sir, I understand that he was more interested in sharing his knowledge with the students and all. And he was not, even in filmmaking also, he was not trained. But when he did Meghada Katara and all that, that actually it created such an impact. People, especially those uprooted people, they started crying in Bangalore when we had screened some of his films, that people who were in Bangladesh and all, when they were uprooted and when they came to India, when they saw the film, the impact was such a great thing. How he could do all that even though he was not trained?
So, what I would say to that is, learning cinema, is not necessarily at a film institute. What film institutes or film schools do, make it easy. As in, there's a prescribed way. If you go from year to year and everything is structured, but it doesn't mean that Ghatak didn't learn cinema. He learned it as much or better than a person going to a film institute. How? At a very young age, he started writing. He wrote stories, wrote plays. He went to the studios, the new theatre in Kolkata, worked with Bimal Roy, came and attended his shootings. So there was a lot of learning going on, and so that and he knew books anybody can read. There's no restriction. So he had read all the theory, Eisenstein. He particularly admired. He had read Stanislavski. So it's not that he was some, just somebody from some provincial thing coming, and it doesn't happen like that. It's just that we don't know that there is a learning process, and a long learning process, which is as rigorous or perhaps more than going to a film school. And that is what he was ready to impart at FTI, but he was there for a very short while. He was there hardly, people have a mistaken notion widely, and only when I dug up a lot of him, he was there just for 4 months. Yeah, even we think that, because people just say he was vice principal and so on. I used to think, okay, maybe 1 or 2 years. And he was just there for 4 months. And in those 4 months, the intensity with which he engaged is incredible. With teaching, not filming, with the intensity with which he engaged with teaching in those 4 months is phenomenal.
Rajkumar sir, would you like to add any point on the
please.
Ritik Khatak as a teacher?
He was.
No, we were
way late.
We were not there. But I definitely recall Vinod always talking about him with a lot of fondness. I think that's the time so I never met him or nothing. We've only been exposed to his films, but no exposure. But obviously, what everybody's chatting is what you've constantly heard.
It is still a discussion. Students, everyone still discuss Ritik Khatak in the informal sessions across the campus.
Absolutely. Especially when you talk of Ray, you always talk of Khatak.
Condola sir. Now, this is a second book launched by DPD at IFFI. The first book was a collection about the Dada Saheb Phalke award winners, and there is one more book launch. So it seems DPD is prioritizing certain books on film and entertainment. So could you please brief the audience about what are the efforts being taken by DPD Publications Division or in this regard?
Actually, it's not that it has started with me, but there were already 12 books that we have brought out in the recent years on various aspects of cinema. In this particular IFFI, we brought out one book day before yesterday on the Dada Saheb Phalke Award winners between 1969 to 1991. And then this is the second. And tomorrow, I would again like to invite you. We're bringing out a book based on articles published in Lensight, which is the FTI's magazine. It's a magazine on cinema. And it has been published over the years. And we have translated that into Hindi because the whole idea is that Hindi speaking audiences should not miss out on what is being written in English. A lot of original work in India, especially in FTI, is being written about in English. So we thought that we must now take up books and translate them into Hindi. That is very important, that a large segment of people in who are not very familiar with English language should be able to read it. So the book we are bringing out tomorrow is a Hindi book. It's a translation of selected articles which appeared in Lensight magazine, and those we are bringing out in the form of a book. And we are looking at bringing out more such books based on Lensight articles, because Lensight articles are written by FTI faculty or FTI alumni, and they have very deep insights because they not only studied in one of the world's best institutes, but they also have long industry experience. So that formal training plus their industry experience, it gives them a deeper penetration of their thoughts, and that has come out in these articles that have come in Lensight. So we are looking at that. Plus there are books on Lakshmikant Pyarelal that we are planning, Lata Mangeshkar, Bhupen Hazarika. About 5 books are in the pipeline. And of course, there is one book whose author is sitting there, Professor Milind Damle. That also is in the works. That's a book on rare and unseen photographs. Photographs that were taken on the sets, behind the scenes. And it's a collection from Mumbai that we are getting access to. And we plan to bring it out in the form of a book.
Masih sir, I would like to also know the story of the design, since it is done by your students.
I teach at the School of Design in IIT, and we have one stream called Visual Communication. So there was a suggestion that my students may attempt to do a cover design. It's part of that. And so they gave it a shot, and it's come out very well. I'm so happy that it has been liked much. And it's particularly the work of one student, Anup, who is one of my talented students. So I just gave him a brief, and it's almost entirely done by him. A second year student of master's student in visual communication. So yeah, we get very talented students at the admission itself. So they have a certain flair for these things. Yeah, that is all.
And talking about books, we'll be very happy to, if somebody can volunteer to write a biography of Rajkumar Hirani ji.
I would like to add to
Publications division would love to.
I would like to add to that I'm planning a book on Indian cinema. I teach a course called Popular Indian Cinema, and it begins with Phalke and Rishikesh, and it will end with Rishikesh Mukherjee's chapter. I'm planning to write that, actually, seriously. And the students love his films. So he's one of those rare filmmakers who have, which is a very difficult thing to manage. Entertainment is fine. To manage meaning with entertainment, as he has done, is remarkable. That is so amazing. So every film carries a thought and a meaning. And therefore, I would like to, the chapter on contemporary cinema will be on Hirani.
Wow, I didn't know that. Good.
Yeah.
I want to invite you once.
Yes.
IDC,
So there's a question for you.
Hi, sir. My question is to Hirani sir. Hirani sir, मुन्ना भाई MBBS के नेक्स्ट पार्ट हमको वेटिंग मतलब ये रहेगा, लेकिन मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि इन दिनों हम देखा जाए तो साउथ की जो फिल्म इंडस्ट्री है बहुत अच्छी तरह से काम करे, लाइक RRR, बाहुबली या पुष्पा, इन जैसे मूवीज जो है बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रही है। RRR को ऑस्कर भी मिला है। तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि कहीं बॉलीवुड इंडस्ट्री इन सब के बीच में कम पड़ रही है या पीछे रह रही है?
देखिए, मुझे लगता है आज हम जिस काम के लिए जमा हुए हैं उस काम की ही बात करनी चाहिए और कुछ नहीं. लेट्स पॉइंट योर क्वेश्चंस एट दीस टू जेंटलमैन. उसमें नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए हमें.
Yeah, very good afternoon, sir. We also did not have earlier much material about Ritvik Ghatak, but whatever some of the information we got during our students' days was he was very master in using telephoto lens in his movies. That was we heard, but we did not had much resources. I mean, if you want to study how to use telephoto lenses in the cinema, you have to watch Ritvik Ghatak. That was we heard. I'm not sure how much it was.
I don't know because I'm also a cinematographer. I don't see that. Actually, it's the opposite. He uses what we call a wide angle lens a lot more than a normal director would. So that was his peculiar thing, an 18 mm lens. Suppose he had to take a close up also,
Go closer.
he'll not go to a telephoto lens. In fact, he will use a wide angle and go very close. That was his distinctive style. Most of the time. I mean, there are no rules like that, but most of the time, I would say if you have to emphasize is the use of the wide angle lens. Very, very interesting ways.
Yeah, coming to Bhupender sir, it's congrats. You are tracking the whatever the legends and other things, bringing out books. But before contributions, what is the mechanism that you will be going through? Which makers or which celebrities book has to be done? Because unfortunately, what I wanted to bring is 2 years back we had centenary year of VK Murthy sir. But it missed out. Even in IFFI, it could not celebrate it for whatever the reason. And we were expecting, at least in Bombay circuit, it will be happening. But nothing, it happened. But how to track that one and bring notice to the concerned persons? That was this one. Thank you.
No, as far as VK Murthy sir goes, if there is a writer who can approach us with a proposal that he would like to write a book on Murthy, we can definitely consider. So there are proposals that come from people. They write to us that I would like to write a book on this subject, and we invite the manuscripts from them. Then we have a book committee that sits and decides if this book is worthy of being published. Right.
But going forward, the mechanism, how that communication will track that somebody's centenary year coming, how that is mechanism is.
Usually it's the authors who approach us because people keep tab of whose centenary is coming. So when they approach us, we consider their proposals and then take a decision. No, you see, we invite proposals. People write to us. And then,
मजहर सर, यूँ तो मैं इसी टीम से हूँ, पर मेरा मन किया कि ये सवाल आपसे पूछूं. ये किताब के पन्ने पलटने में उनकी पत्नी के कुछ चिट्ठियाँ थीं जो उसमें थी. वो जो खूबसूरती से लिखे गए पत्र थे, वो इमोशंस जो थे, वो उनकी फिल्मों में कितना झलकते थे.
Towards his wife?
Towards his wife. There were letters.
So all of that, he's known to revere the feminine in his film. In fact, no director, I think, has revered as much as Ghatak. Just, to make films with the very central characters, who's a woman. So he had this kind of huge, which is why the title is, if you see the title, this is is tried to give the essence of Ghatak in these 3 words. The first is Ma, the second is Uma, and then Padma. Padma is the river, but Ma and Uma. So he thought of motherhood as the ultimate, form of the feminine. And so his affection. Now that story, which I have not sort of hesitated or shied away from, because one has to face his relationship with his wife was very wonderful as an artist. But as a person, there were a lot of things that he had to, both had to go through. This is actually about how, art can affect your personal life of 2 very good individuals.
Thank you so much. With this, we have, yes, the last question.
बोल सकते हैं उनके बारे में obituary कुछ.
हाँ, मुझे अभी पता लगा. नहीं, अब इसके बारे में कोई क्या कहेगा कि यू ऑब्वियसली फील बैड हियरिंग अबाउट इट, और ही इज बीन एन वंडरफुल आर्टिस्ट. जब मुझे अभी पता लगा तो उनकी सारी फिल्में याद आ रही थी. सो all we can say is, such is life.
Thank you. With this, we have come to the end of the press conference. I would like to thank Rajkumar Irani sir, Professor Mazhar Kamran sir, and Bhupendra Kantola sir for joining us at the Media Center. We have a small token of love from PI.